She's the collegiate leader in the 5K this season. She ran 5:14.61 back in April. She was also the collegiate leader this season, over 1,500, running 4:06.84, but opting to lead this squad of 5 for NC State into the 5K. A high school phenom, of course, Katelyn TUOHY indoors. She was the runner-up for 3K and 5K, now looking for an NCAA title. On the track, Katelyn TUOHY, a big part, as you mentioned, Dwight, of NC State's cross-country success this past fall.
And you were talking to me about how they got here, how Katelyn TUOHY helped get 4 of her teammates into these NCAA championships.
Yes, so at the NCAA East prelim, she ran 15:27.14 to win the 5K and set up 7 finishers, all under the meet record there at the NCAA Regional. That's what pulled those 4 teammates along into this championship 5K. They knew that they needed to keep that pace honest. The plan was at that point to go 74, 75, try to get somewhere in that 15:35 to 15:40 range so that they could keep the pace as honest as possible and advance 5 athletes through, advance as many athletes as they possibly could. Coach Hannah says it's tough to find someone at that talent level, the incredible talent that Katelyn TUOHY has, that's the first thing she thinks of, is not only how do I get myself through, but how can I help the rest of my team to put myself in great position. And, you know, indoors, when she had that championship experience, she really grew a lot from that. And Coach Hannah says it shows the maturity that she has. She gets upset when she loses and uses that to learn and get better. She said that one of the things she's trying to teach Katelyn TUOHY at the collegiate level is use all the tools in your toolbox. So Katelyn TUOHY is getting much more confident, learning how to race in different ways. She doesn't always have to hammer it from up front, but she has gotten there up front so that she gets out of trouble. And you have Parker VALBY here, who is in great position for the Florida Gators. Parker VALBY was a significant contributor to Florida at the SEC championships just a couple of weeks ago.
Team implications in this race. The woman in all white on the shoulder of Katelyn TUOHY. That's Parker VALBY of Florida. No Texas entry in this 5,000. At the SEC meet a month ago, Parker VALBY improved her personal best by about 70 seconds, getting second at that meet. And that makes her an absolute contender to score points in this 5,000 meters. If she does so, Florida clinches before the 4x400 relay. Okay, with that out of the way, let's go downstairs to John, who has an exhausted, I'm certain, Anna Hall.
I do, and also I have the triple jump champ, Jasmine Moore, with me as well. Dwight Stone just said you were exhausted. I've seen you tired before. I'm not sure I've seen you exhausted before. Would you recommend the 400 hurdle, 800 end of the heptathlon for youngsters at home in 22 minutes apart?
No, I would definitely say do not try this at home. I knew it was going to be hard. It was even harder than I thought, but I'm just glad that I did enough work in the 6 events to put up 18 points for my team.
And overall, just the experience of running a championship individual race, not the 2-day thing, how that felt?
It was so different, and I have so much respect for the runners. That is so nerve-wracking and just a different kind of pressure, just having like one go at it. But it was really fun, and I'm excited to hopefully continue running the 400 hurdles and races like that.
So that's 18 points from Anna Hall in about 20 minutes over 2 days. Just like Jasmine Moore, a triple jump championship, a collegiate lead. Give us your performance and your thoughts on it.
I'm just really proud of myself. I was able to come out here and execute in both of my events and just score points. Of course, I always want to do better, but I'm just very proud of myself for this weekend.
So let's see, that's 4 NCAA championships in 1 year.
Yes.
2 indoor, 2 outdoor. Dwight, I don't know if I can beat the company I'm in right now. I may never move.
That'd be a stretch. You have to collect more people, that's for certain, John. As we back to the 5,000 meters, really nothing much has changed up front. Katelyn TUOHY, the sophomore from NC State, continuing to control the pace from the front, right on her shoulder on the outside of lane 1. That is Parker VALBY, the freshman from Florida, who had that huge breakthrough performance at the SEC meet a month ago. So they're coming up with 9 laps remaining, so we will step aside And when we return to Hayward Field, we will give you the rest of this 5,000-meter final with team implications for Florida. Tomorrow morning at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN and the app, we'll have the Azerbaijan Grand Prix at the Baku City Circuit, the fastest street track in Formula One. Max Verstappen leads the driver standings by 9 points over Charles Leclerc. All right, well, we got the event winner as an interview. Now let's take a look at how and the reason why we had Jasmine Moore as our interview subject. This is the triple jump. Ruth Rosoro of Texas Tech with her 4th round jump, 45.9 1/4. And she got that same trailing wind as Abby Steiner did. She must have jumped around the same time. She had a 1.4 tailwind. But this event was all Jasmine Moore. In the 3rd round, she went out close to 47 feet, ever so slightly under 1 centimeter, way behind the board. That was not her 47-foot jump. That was the last jump of the competition. It went out to 44 feet, 1 1/4, but she had jumped 46, 11 3/4, and as you heard in her interview, she won both the long jump and the triple jump indoors, and now she's won both here at the outdoor meet. She wins by over a foot over Ruth Osoro and Rudo Lasmain, who go 2-3 for Texas Tech. So now we update the standings, and Florida has a 10-point lead over Texas with just the 5,000 meters and the 4x4. Parker VALBY is in that 5,000 meters for Florida. If she gets 8th place or better, Florida clinches the team title. And she has been step for step right there with Katelyn TUOHY since lap number 2.
And you mentioned her emergence this outdoor season coming off the SEC championships. Well, there was an injury that she suffered indoors, broke a bone in her heel, forced her to miss significant time. She only raced once in January, then had to shut it down completely, broke that bone in her heel. So she's been limited to only running 3 or 4 times a week. Her distance coach Chris Zielinski said she's just been hammering it in the pool and on the arc trainer, relying on that fitness to get to her point, to get to this point that she's up there in contention, forcing Katelyn TUOHY to push the pace in the 5K. She had not raced a full 5K this year before the SEC championships, and she's broken Florida's school record twice in the past month. She went from 15:32 at SEC's, 15:29 at the NCAA prelims. And then also up there in the hunt, you have Mercy CHELANGAT, the SEC and NCAA 10,000 meter champion. Keep in mind, too, if this starts to set up as a kicker's race, Katelyn TUOHY has fantastic closing speed. And then we talked about 5 from the Wolfpack of North Carolina State. Colorado has a herd of buffaloes up there as well. 3 Colorado athletes led by Abby NICHOLS. Jenny Simpson, volunteer assistant and former Colorado Buffalo student athlete herself, said Abby's very fit and ready for this. Decided not to do the 10-5 double because they wanted to focus on the 5,000. Felt she had an outstanding opportunity to challenge for the title. Jenny said she won't have a bad race. This is about how great she can be. Jenny Simpson has positioned herself over on the back stretch to call out some commands and some race direction. No better person you can get it from, right? Also in that front heat or that front pack, I should say, Taylor ROE of Oklahoma State.
Laura, I'm just impressed with CHELANGAT from Alabama. She's trying to do that rare 10,000 meter double. And it was right around this time in the 10,000 that she showed no mercy to the rest of the field and kind of went out and tried to stretch things out. So we'll see if she has enough left in the tank to possibly pull off that double.
Yeah, you can never count out Mercy CHELANGAT. She's been right in there, drafting close to the rail. Parker VALBY now taking over the leading duties in earnest. TUOHY happy to just let her go. And then there is Abby NICHOLS in third. And for Oklahoma State, that's Taylor ROE. That's the group of 5 up front with CHELANGAT hanging off the back. They're coming up with 3 laps remaining.
It was interesting right there. Katelyn TUOHY made some sort of an adjustment. I don't know if it was with her top or something that looked like she had to make an adjustment for, as you see Parker VALBY start to stretch it out. You're also seeing Taylor ROE of Oklahoma State beginning to move up. She was a runner-up in cross country on her home course for Oklahoma State. In 2021, she had a very interesting week. She ran at the indoor season on Friday as part of the DMR for Oklahoma State, because that was when, of course, the schedule had shifted and the NCAA cross-country championships were pushed to March. So she anchored Oklahoma State's distance medley relay, ran the mile leg on Friday. On Monday, goes to Stillwater, runs a 2nd place finish in cross-country. So an incredible range that she has, and she's drawing upon so much of that strength. She's run 15:21 this season. And her coach, Dave Smith, said he wanted her to stay patient through the mile, start to run those jitters, run a little bit of those nerves out, and then set herself up so that she is in contact. He said he did not see that 15:21 coming when she ran that at Brian Clay. Thought she would run about 16 minutes. She glanced over, gave him a smile mile in, and he's like, I don't know what's going to happen. She threw down a 15:21 as this pace is now beginning to quicken, Dwight.
Less than 2 laps remaining, and Parker VALBY pushing the pace, but she's not going to drop Katelyn TUOHY, and TUOHY has great finishing speed. If Mercy CHELANGAT was going to really challenge for the title, I think she would have made her move by now. This is late for Mercy CHELANGAT. So it's Parker VALBY. If she even scores 1 point for Florida, they clinch the team title, and she looks like she still has plenty of run left in her.
Katelyn TUOHY looks so sharp. That was something she learned indoors. She got caught up in the pack, and Coach Hennes told her, you can't spot people a second or a second and a half in this race. Coach Lori Hennes won a title of her own in the 5,000 meters when she was running for NC State. 30 years later, her daughter Ellie Hennes won the 5,000 meter title for NC State. They know how to capture 5,000 meter championships, and it looks like Katelyn TUOHY is winding it up for a big final lap, but Parker VALBY is still there, hanging out in second.
Coming to the bell, Katelyn TUOHY with a 5-meter lead over Parker VALBY. Then about 10 meters back, to Taylor ROE, and another 4 meters back to Mercy CHELANGAT, who doesn't seem to have anything left to make a move after that 10,000 victory 2 nights ago. Parker VALBY not giving up, but that gap continues to just get ever so slightly wider. Katelyn TUOHY, the sophomore from NC State, out of Stony Point, New York, high school phenom and leader of a team that won the cross-country team title back this last fall, or spring, I should say, is running herself to a national title in the 5,000 meters. Parker VALBY, unless she falls down, is going to score 8 points for the Gators and put it away before the 4x400 relay. The meet record is 15:15:08. She's going to just miss that. Katelyn TUOHY wins it. Parker VALBY scores another big lifetime best. Taylor ROE takes 3rd. Mercy CHELANGAT 4th.
She looked like she had much more in the tank, eased way up as she had secured the victory. Coach Hannah said, "I've been doing this a long time. I have never seen someone handle what Katelyn has in terms of coming off of that outstanding high school career, coming in with such high expectations." There you're seeing that celebration right there. What a phenomenal run from Katelyn TUOHY to rise to the occasion. She's got her teammates there who she's pulling along. The consummate teammate. There's an embrace she has there from her teammate Samantha BUSH at the ACC Championships. She finished just behind Samantha BUSH after winning the 1500. Katelyn TUOHY won the 15 at the ACCs, now wins the 5,000 at the NCAAs.
NC State won 9, 10, 11. So TUOHY the only scorer, but her teammates finishing in the top 12. There are the final results. TUOHY just missing the meet record set by Sally Kipyego, number 3 in meet history. Parker VALBY with a lifetime best by almost 10 seconds in 2nd, and Taylor ROE from Oklahoma State finishing in 3rd. And there's Parker VALBY. She's clinched it for her Florida Gators team. Katelyn TUOHY winning the title, but VALBY making Mike Holloway a winner on the men's side and on the women's side. The 4x400 is back when we return.